Game Theory Class 11 Video 3. In this video we're just going to do a couple more examples calculating the expected payoff for different mixed strategies in different games. So let's begin. This time let's consider this 3x3 game. Okay, so player 1 has the pure strategies A, B and C, player 2 has the pure strategies X, Y and Z, and they're playing mixed strategies. Player 1's mixed strategy is a half, third, a sixth, and if you think about it, you should always double check that a half plus a third plus a sixth is actually equal to 1. So this is a valid mixed strategy for player 1, and player 2 is playing a mixed strategy a quarter, a half, a quarter, which is also valid. I'm not going to calculate all of the mixed strategies because it will just take a long time and I get bored really easily doing this. So instead I'm just going to calculate a couple of them. But if you can do a couple of them, you should be able to do all of them, in theory. So the expected payoff for player 1 if player 1 chooses A. So if player 1 chooses A, they expect to win 1 point a quarter of the time, 0 points half the time, and 4 points a quarter of the time. Okay, if they play A. So let's write this out. This is going to be 1 times a quarter plus 0 times a half plus 4 times a quarter. And I can simplify this to a quarter plus 0 plus 4 quarters, which is 5 quarters. That's it. Easy as that. Okay. Next one was E2 of X. So this is the expected payoff for player 2 if they play X. That's how you read it. So if I'm looking at X, this means that player 2 is going to get 3 points half the time, 0 points 1/3 of the time, and 1 point 1/6 of the time. So let's write this out. This is going to be 3 times 1/2 plus 0 times 1/3 plus 1 times 1/6. Simplifying this is 3 halves plus 0 plus 1/6. Okay, and I don't know how good you are adding fractions. I'm not very good. So I can make the denominator 6 on both of these, so that would be 9/6 plus 1/6, which is 10/6. Okay, and that's the answer. Okay, that's easy enough. That's these two expected payoffs for this game. So let's try a different example. In this example, I ask you to calculate all of the expected payoffs, but I haven't given you the mixed strategies yet. And in fact, the mixed strategies for this one, I'm not going to give you numbers, I'm just going to give you variables. So I'm going to tell you that player 1 plays A with probability P, which means that they play B with probability 1 minus P. Player 2 plays X with probability Q, which means that they play Y with probability 1 minus Q. Right? It's because these things, P plus 1 minus P, they have to add up to 1. Okay? So these are the mixed strategies, and I want all of the expected payoffs. So let's just begin. The expected payoff for player 1 if they choose A. So if player 1 chooses A, they're going to win 3 points Q of the time and 0 points 1 minus Q of the time. So this is 3 times Q plus 0 times 1 minus Q. Okay, which is simple enough to simplify. This is just 3Q, because 0 times 1 minus Q is just equal to 0. The expected payoff for player 1 if they play B. So if player 1 chooses to play B, they're going to win 2 points Q of the time and 2 points 1 minus Q of the time. Let's write this out. That's 2 times Q plus, that's minus 2 times Q. It's minus 2, right? Plus 2 times 1 minus q. And let's simplify this. Minus 2q. Expanding the second bit, I have to distribute into both elements of the bracket. So that's plus 2 minus 2q, which is minus 4q plus 2. So again, the answer in both these cases, it's not a number, right? The answer is it's a function. But that's okay, because I haven't given you numbers for the mixed strategies, so you expect the answer to be a function. Okay, let's move on to doing the mixed strategies for player 2. So E2 of x, the expected payoff for player 2 if they play x. So if player 2 chooses to play x, they're going to win 2 points p of the time and minus 1 point 1 minus p of the time. If we write this out, that's 2 times p plus minus 1 times 1 minus p. Okay, my brackets aren't very good. Let's simplify this. This is 2p, and then I need to distribute this, so it's minus 1 times 1 plus minus 1 times minus p. So algebra is difficult. That's minus 1 plus p. So it's 3p minus 1, like that. Okay. E2 of y. Now, if player 2 chooses to play y, they're going to win 1 point p of the time and 3 points 1 minus p of the time. So it's going to be 1 times p plus 3 times 1 minus p. Simplifying this, it's p plus 3 minus 3p, so it's minus 2p plus 3. And that's it. Okay, that's the end of this example. We've calculated all of the expected payoffs. Okay, in the future videos we're going to do a new concept which requires you to calculate the expected payoffs in terms of variables p and q. So it's important that you understand this particular example, because what we're going to do in the following classes relies on this type of calculation. That's the end of this video.